My books Honest Bonds and Honest Bonds The Fall of Tenebris are both available for purchase on Amazon, and Manga Writer has written a webcomic series called Shadows. Links to all of these can be found in the description below. So I never thought I'd be doing another work story, but after I told this in a live stream, a lot of people quite enjoyed it, so they wanted me to tell it to the world, basically. So here I am talking about it again. As you all know, I worked as a night porter for a hotel between 2021 and 2022. My job was to patrol the hotel, patrol the grounds, do any necessary cleaning, including the main hall, weddings, set up tables, stuff like that. Of course, answering phone calls, checking cameras, all that stuff. During my time, I started in the summer. Almost every day was a wedding day, but I joined on a quiet week, and we had a wedding coming up tomorrow, the following day. And when there's a wedding night, there's 3 of us. When there's not a wedding night, there's 2 of us. I was new to the shift. It was just me and my manager, David. I should point out any names I mention in this are not any real names. They're all just pseudonyms, just aliases, sorry. And he asked me if I wanted to do a grounds patrol. And because it was my first ground patrol, he wanted me to get familiar with the site. So we do a ground patrol to make sure that the area is clear, there's no unwanted guests, no one sneaking around, nothing like that. Everything is as it should be, and all the self-caterings are undisturbed. I agreed. I said, sure, I'll do the patrol. And I walked around, I had my high vis on, I had my torch strapped on, and I walked around. Everything was quiet, nothing out of the ordinary. Clear sky as well, actually. You know, I saw a nice view of the sea. Anyway, so I was walking back to the hotel, ready to wrap up the investigation, and I heard a rustling in the bush. Now, I could have just ruled it out as a fox or maybe a badger. Like, you know, a wild animal had gotten in. Nothing new, really, but I was curious. So I walked around the bush and shined my torch. The last thing I expected to see were 2 men, a gay couple. Both have their trousers down by their ankles, and they were having sex. Straight up, full on fucking. They were surprised. I was surprised. I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know what the correct procedure was. So they were pulling up their trousers, profusely apologizing for what they were doing in a public area. I should point out it was like 2 a.m, so there wasn't anyone else awake. So it's not like they were in the risk of children seeing or anything like that. But it was quite surprising. I didn't want to make a big deal out of it because I just thought it was just a young couple in love. I said, look, are you 2 staying here? They said, yes, yeah, we're staying in this room. I was like, right, okay. Shit happens. It's fine. I'm not going to report it. I'm just going to pretend I didn't see anything. But I think it's best if you guys just went back to your room and just do your business there. And they agreed. They thanked me that I wasn't making a big deal. They thanked me I wasn't going to report it. They were apologizing again. They went in. I needed a minute to recover from what I saw because holy shit, how often do you see that happen in your workplace? So I walked around a bit, just one extra check, all was fine. I went back into the office. My manager asked me if everything was okay. I said, yep, everything was fine. I explained to him my route, and he actually said that I should have done a bit bigger. There was one area I didn't cover, which, my bad. He said, it's fine, just, for future reference. I'm like, okay, sure. So I didn't mention the couple, because I didn't see a reason to. I didn't think it was worth mentioning, and I thought that was that. So about 20 minutes later, after I did the walk, everything was quiet. We received a phone call from one of the guests in the hotel, and they were calling about a noise complaint. Now, noise complaints, normally they just happen from someone being too loud, or something happening outside, or in this case, a domestic. The couple next to them were arguing. And the way we follow this procedure is the one with the highest authority of the night porters goes to investigate, and they assess the situation, they talk to the couple, see what can be resolved, and if push comes to shove, we call the police. So Dave explained that to me. He said, right, Tommy, I will go and investigate this. I need you here on standby. if we need to get the police involved, I will radio you. But don't do anything yet. Just stay here and watch the cameras. I'm like, okay, that's fine. He told me the procedure, so I just stayed there. I watched the cameras and I waited. I saw him leave. He had his radio, he had everything, and he left out of camera view into the hotel rooms. About 5 minutes later, I was still watching the cameras. I saw a woman storm out of the hotel. I thought she was checking out because she was dragging, quite quickly, a suitcase behind her. And it was quite loud, it was like one of those on wheels that just like made any sort of rumbling noise on the carpet it was on. So it was quite hard to miss her, even if I didn't see her, because you can hear that shit. I was thinking like, well, she's not checking out because she went past the desk, so she would have dropped off her key, or it's like she would have needed to pay the bill. So I'm thinking like, I wonder where she's going. And given that she came back the same way, given that she came the same way from where Dave was, I assumed that he spoke to her, and he followed almost like a minute after, like minute, 2 minutes. And he came into the office. He had like, that sort of like face where like you really want to hold in a laugh. Like, he was holding back one of those laughs. I went, Dave, what happened? He said, well, let me put it to you like this, Tommy. Do you want tomorrow off? And I remember thinking, because there was a wedding tomorrow. And I was like, but there's a wedding happening, isn't there? He said, yeah, not anymore. You saw the woman who stormed out, right? I went, yeah. He said, yeah, that's the bride for tomorrow's wedding. She's going home to London tonight. And I'm like, oh, so it's been cancelled. Why? It turns out... So that gay couple I mentioned earlier, that was the groom and the best man. They have been having a secret affair for at least a year. And the bride only recently found out on that night because he came back to the room late and she asked where he went, and he couldn't lie. Because every time he brought up a thing, I was here. She went, no, that's been shut. He went, no, I went over there. No, you didn't, because we were there. We didn't see you. Like, I was here. And it got to the point where she was demanding, where the fuck were you? And I guess he just didn't do well under pressure, because he just sheepishly admitted that he was bumming his best man. And she was so furious. And Dave looked at me and said, Tommy, are you sure you didn't see anything? Because I did see I did see a couple of men walk in about a minute before you. Are you sure you didn't see anything? I'm like, I didn't see anything, I swear. So I got a day off work the following day. The wedding was cancelled. And I don't know what happened afterwards. I think we did get a low rating, a low review from one of the wedding guests that tried to blame us for the cancellation of the wedding, but what our fault, blame the best man and the groom. And that was one of the first nights I was there. Just, how often do you get to say on one of your shifts that you, on your first patrol, you caught a couple having sex, not just any couple, a gay couple, and it was a secret affair from one of their fiancés. I wish I had a story as good as that, but nothing will ever top that. That will forever live in my mind as one of the best work stories I ever had. I do have some other ones. None one as grandiose as that, but if you ever want to hear them, let me know down below, and I'll be sure to do another video about it. All right, ciao.